there, and obviously their first victory ever against Na'Vi and their first ever champions. Now they got to try and beat Fnatic, which is another one that hasn't happened yet for Vitality.
Well, it's certainly a big accolade to claim, and one way to book yourself into that grand final for Vitality. They've been looking fantastic, and Zeiss put it best. Let's see if Safe can continue his run, because he's been looking unbelievable in most games. I saw him after the last game. I said, congratulations, you're absolutely sick. Keep in mind, last two maps, he was 20-9 at one stage, and he said, yeah, man, I sucked on that first map. It's just the kind of mentality this guy has.
Never good enough. Well, we've seen similar things from Miniboo recently. I think it's just that superstar mentality. I'd say as well that the player that's been impressing me has been Trex. Like, I think he has truly been unbelievable on an individual level. And also we saw some massive step-ups from Hero as well, that new boy on the block. So I think a lot to be excited for going into this series and kicking it off on the choice of Fnatic Sunset. One we expect them to win, but already it's going to be that first kill traded out, even.
Yeah, nice nade. Paranoia, though, is caught Chronicle, and now he's in a lot of trouble with Sender picking him up. But a response from Durka drops the spike. Side angle's good. Managed to keep this neck and neck with Safe tagged low. A good position until Boaster falls. Now the pressure's all on Durka's shoulders. And the cam has certainly revealed his position. Tries to isolate the fight up top, but the swing is a little quicker from Safe. Catches the angle. The wall bang to start us off 1-0.
Yeah, I think this is always going to be a talking point. I think you go back to last year, Fnatic were the team to beat at every single stage, and even though Liquid didn't quite have the same run or the same opportunities, everybody looked at it as Durka #1, Safe #2. Safe does not want to be #2 in any scenario. Like at times he'll come across as like, oh yeah, I'll do whatever role for the team. But the real thing about this guy is he wants to win. He wants to be the best. And I believe in this series, the only goal is going to be to outdo Durka and win them the game.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what order those priorities will be in realistically. But for Vitality as a squad, they've been heating up. They've been looking better. Now the pressure's off. They know they're going to champs, but seeding could be a big deal as well. That international scene, you end up going out bottom seed here. And have some tough opening games.
Well, that's the crazy thing, that either Foot or Heretics will be the #4 seed for EMEA. So one of those groups is going to be interested. If it's Heretics, you could have the second place team at the last event as the bottom seed. But we'll talk about that when we get there. Let's wait and see, because we all know that Heretics have got a pretty decent record when it comes to Foot. And the same for Fnatic versus Vitality. Well, we're looking to see multiple times today if these teams can turn the tide on what has been the history of these battles. I definitely think, with no questions, this is the best Vitality I've ever looked, though. 100%. If they were going to do it, if they were going to make a run to the final, this would be it. Uh-oh.
This is a little scary. The Classics managed to catch one off guard. That's Sender down, but they are not going to give up that rifle. Taking the space, taking the fights, although it is actually recovered by Boaster. Doesn't seem to last too long. Quickly taken out of his hands, put into Heroes. Managed to recover. Let's see what he can do with it. Already the first, but the second shot a little shy. We go back to the Classics. Tough to make this one work, although they've already done decent damage. Let's see what more they can manage. I assume Runner's going to be... Oh yeah, he's actually quite close to take this duel. If he goes down, 2 rifles carried forward. It's not the end of the world. It's a winnable fight, and he's jumped over the trap, but they've heard him.
Yeah, I think they have no doubts as to where Althea currently is. The only thing he could do is run all the way around the map and die to the spike instead, which might be the plan. He's heard his opposing side break the door for him, so definitely aware of the position he's coming from, but I think they know as well as we do. He has no plans to give over any extra orbs, especially when you look at Safe already having 4 on the board. I think him and Durka are the ones that have got the majority of the kills thus far. So we could be having some early showstoppers, although not quite for the next round, and well, eventually Runner is going to be the one to take that final pick.
The next round, where the real weight starts to come in. We're talking compositions, I mean, we heard it from the desk as well. I think for me, Tom, I'm always going to side with Fnatic when it comes to comps. I like their Viper. I think it brings a lot to the table, but even here we see the value of Breach, putting some players out of position, and presumably Vitality, you're going to have a couple of big stacked up plays ready to breach off that utility. I'm excited to see.
This composition by Fnatic, I believe, has been played 14 times in a row, and it is one that they've played the entire year. So it's something that they're incredibly confident in. They've even had sort of slips in form on this map and then come right back, not changing the composition. Okay, a player's changed, but I don't think anybody was sat there going, oh no, Leo's the problem. I don't think that's ever been said in a competitive environment.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, especially around this A main control for Vitality, that's where the struggles are when you don't have the Viper wall round after round blocking out control on your attack, right? So now they're going to do that differently. You already see Shrouded Steps used to cross over towards this door. It was opened up and the players filtered out of the angle afterwards. Now considering a move back, and that might just get the gears going. Alphier's down, C site wide open for the taking, and Fnatic, well, they'll have to respond to this in some way. For now, it's going to be Chronicle playing close to that site, B pretty much open. The players on A, though, you don't want to stay 3 stacked up on A thinking the hit's on the other side, but that draws them into open combat, and Vitality are coming ahead. A lot of kills, and now both players from Fnatic split on completely opposite sides of the map.
I feel like this has been a common theme over the last few days that Vitality have done amazingly well in their bonus rounds. Hero hoping for a bit of a miracle, and even Chronicle's rotation, and unless somehow Runner's going to fall in the mix of all this, he's not going to be able to get past the trips. So I think it just has to be a save at this point from Fnatic, just holding on to those remaining weapons. And yeah, Vitality have started this off fantastically well.
Big factor is Runner. Just finding that kill on C is what forces the fight on A, as those players try to both cross over, move towards B, create a bit more space on the map, but also they're just looking. Is there anyone still outside A? Is that where the hit's coming in? They lose their players as a result. Now, hunting down these rifles seems to be the play for Vitality. They've lost 1 man in the process, but a worthwhile trade, stripping weapons from Fnatic's hands, leaving Chronicle presumably to safely save this one. I mean, unless Runner's going to live up to his name. He is walking towards him. He's about to swing the angle. They're going to have a fight, and Chronicle wins it. Okay, 1 rifle at least carried forward for Fnatic, but a 3-0 start for Vitality. That is huge.
Yeah, and a lot of it just comes down to, as you said, that opening kill, being patient for the re-aggression, which they win those fights as well, and then just being able to surround the remainder. 3-0. The purchase for Fnatic, it's not going to be bad. There's still a few pieces missing here and there, like shields, and 1 away on a showstopper for Durka. Hero also pretty close. It's been a slower start. I think Alpha's been someone in great form recently. I can't say I expect this to last too long, and while Boaster under serious pressure.
I like this nade thrown through to try and root him from position. He's very low, but making it away with the cover of Hero. 2 kills, and there it is, traded right back. It's Sender stepping up to equalize numbers. Now damage is being sustained. Vitality have lost a lot of health on Sender and a little bit on Trex, but Rifle still to fight with. There's a good chance for Fnatic to get back into this round, but now they've lost Chronicle. The head peek angle proving favorable for Vitality. Sender up top of the smoke, not covering the angle, and Dirk is able to exploit 1 showstopper now online, ready to be used, and it might be dispensed in this round, although the 1 versus 2, harder to find that value.
Jump down. He knows where Trex is, but Sender's position is still completely unaware for him. Even wary that he's somehow wrapped around back past him. Both players now going to be spotted, but it's too little too late. Sender with another big round. The IGL leading the way as Vitality are going to have their 4th already.
It's a scary start for that defensive side. Especially here, like the beginning was absolutely perfect. Hero picking up 2. Boaster was a little bit too low. And the blindsided quick peek from Sender. He had just Shrouded stepped across. So they had the information that 2 seconds before, nobody had gotten to rubble. Nobody had made it there because Boaster had seen it. But the blink of an eye, that information loses its relevance. I see a lot of Fnatic players ready to push up low by. Lots of weaker weapons. C's in hand, fired out. Lot of fights around A main. Surprisingly, with the low economy, I see Sender going into a smoke, playing close, and he is taken down by Boaster easily.
Yeah, maybe not expecting anybody to just run directly through it, but they'll take that all day long. Even trying to be careful in case there's anybody to try and defend that gun, but it is going to be retrieved. Hero will hold on to that for now, and he's been good so far. It's one of the first times we've really seen the man advantage kick off in Fnatic's favor. Obviously, as we said, the weaponry is still not the best, but with a man advantage, showstopper, and Nightfall, this round is very much doable.
Yeah, it's the showstopper, man. That's a big difference here. You've got 2 rifles to take fights, and you're going to be very keen to play a retake if needed, because showstopper's going to light the path right back into a site. For Vitality, well, they need to secure that spike plant. They know Fnatic aren't going to be keen to take a ton of fights before that occurs, although I do see Boaster. Like, he started this one out with an aggressive play, an uncouth one, walking straight through the smoke. and finding himself a kill. Well, he stays on the A site, ready to weather the storm that comes his way. Vitality, though, are moving into B. Well, at least it seemed that way. Durka probably even had that information after the broken door.
Exactly where
With him down, they might commit to it. Information about to be found. The hat off the head, and Trex is ready to strike the surprise position of Boaster, serving no purpose in the end.
And Safe's quickly come in to try and defend his teammate. Again, the patience of Vitality, leaving it to the late round, has worked out wonderfully. Unfortunately, it's just that aggressive position of Durka that ends up catching them. It reveals everyone else on the map, gives the gap to Trex. And although it's definitely not going to go down in history as his prettiest spray, the job got done in the end. For Althea and Chronicle, or more so Althea, there's a question of whether or not you just hold on to these guns, but it seems like they're going to try and challenge this. Yet to get off the mark, and well, there we go. First kill for Alpha. The time not too far gone. They could challenge this. The problem is just the amount of utility, the amount of players. Another one for Alpha, and already Chronicle's just sticking it, trying to hold it the whole way. But Trex will make sure that it doesn't get too far out of control. And well, that's something Fnatic have to think about. 5-0.
Yeah, a lot of the time we talk about economic damage, and sure, Vitality will invest a little bit more, but they've got a good backing of credits to work with and a 5-0 lead. That's the most important part. A timeout has been called by Fnatic. They're not happy with how this game's been going, and, well, understandably.
But they were close.
Even still, that round, it started out well. I think, like you said, those 4 ultimates online for them coming into this round. The reason we were so excited about that showstopper is because it was standing in isolation as the only ult online. Now there's a response. Durka, well, he's bought up the Odin. He's looking for some impact. We'll often see Boaster around this spot. I like his wall bang straight through to main, and actually if he was here, if he was doing it right now, my goodness, there would be some damage. But it's a surprise factor for Durka. He's waiting. He wants someone to move towards that door. He wants to hear the shrouded step or even the door begin to open, and then he will convert that for a kill. For now, though, the opportunity not being given, he's seconds away from taking that spray. And if he does, you can see it's lined right up. He's toying with the idea. But no, and a big hit about to come in on the C site. You can see Vitality, 4 players stacked up. I'm not sure if they'll commit to it. Maybe the idea is to strip some of that utility early on.
Well, they've already got rid of the alarm bot. Every other piece is gone as well. Only the turret remains on the B site, but yeah, it does seem like they're going to start falling back, looking to potentially group back up. And the thing is, right now, Fnatic have gone from very aggressive, like you saw even the jump spot coming in on C before, you saw aggressive A site takes, to absolutely nothing. And you can somewhat see why Vitality are just almost sat there waiting for someone to make a move. Runner, he's actually just stood in the snake bite, just seeing if he can find anything on the back of it, trying to really sell this idea. But now that Odin comes into play, Sender, just 5 HP. They've got 20 seconds to make their move. I think they might try and double back into B, but it is getting quite late.
Yeah, B's definitely the right play. Showstopper has been activated, but not to find a target. Never mind. It was the 5 HP player that's taken down. 10 seconds left. Spike on its way towards the site. Boaster could get in here to deny. Actually already caught the player that's finding, and there's the kill! The round on the back of it! Fnatic, only the clock left to tick down, and players too far away to be killed. A big play by Boaster, and that's the first in the board.
I think that's one that Vitality are probably going to end up a bit frustrated about. They had that Nightfall that just came in a little bit too late, and it seemed like everybody was so tunnel visioned in wrapping around the rest of the site that they don't actually hold onto the one angle that could have denied that plant. Good initiative by both, so it's still a little bit worrying that it takes such a sort of like big gamble to actually turn around, especially when a showstopper was invested initially. I guess it was invested by both sides.
10 seconds left.
But we actually saw ults going on a lot of players. Nightfall was used by Hero as well. A few ultimates used by that attack, so the only one remaining that's of high value, I guess, is going to be that Rolling Thunder for kicks. So Fnatic have to be careful now that this isn't just an instant bounce back. But again, they're right back into this super passive hold. That's it. Most other teams, you're seeing them try and claim A, you're going to go for rubble almost every single round. They are all sat back.
Yeah, it's a hyper passive play. Again, they're just looking to punish some of the moves that Vitality are making. There is a lot of space given on C, like the fact that there's no mound fight, but Fnatic can be pretty happy about that. If they were to scrap for mound, you're running right into Runner, who's got an operator to play with. And plenty stacked up outside this choke point, but for Fnatic, they've made the right read. Passive play on A, B covered by a turret, 3 players stacked up ready for C.
This as well, they're so passive because they know there's a rolling thunder. Look at where they place the nanos. They're just to try and slow them down and almost go back in for the retake. So that rolling thunder is going to have absolutely no impact.
Other than the crowd control to keep them off site in the first place, but the fact they're so ready and willing to crunch back in, they're not even on the site. Blocked out by smokes as Chronicle finds 2. And Alpha trading out the operator. Now it's tough for Vitality. They'll need to dig deep, and that they've done. Trex and Kicks equalizing it. Those shots are so close. Kicks is crouched, trapped in by a snake bite, and the nade comes to hunt him down. Some damage on the wall banks as Trex all alone. Just up against Durka, swapped out to the Vandal up top. It's a crazy play, but he won't be punished. Not yet, and Trex is down to the Classic. Durka's won it. Somehow, he's gotten away with it.
Again, like I think this round was a fantastic read from Fnatic. Like having 3 players in the close vicinity, but none of them in spot for the Rolling Thunder. As said, you look at where the nanos were placed. They were right at the back of the site, so it took much longer for that plant to come in. And then they're expecting some level of aggression. But even still, I'm looking mainly at Trex. Sure, he doesn't get that final kill, but everything he does before that, it's just, again, they're trying to get back into the site, and he's just obliterating them. I think this guy's individual skill has been just fantastic throughout the entirety of this second split. It was a good kill, but yeah, I think Vitality have been slightly better with it.
Yeah, no, in the majority of their games.
He's even betrayed it.
Oh.
He's gone for a spectre.
He might pay the price here, Tom. We'll have to see. That's the spray I was talking about. That's exactly the one. Boaster's doing it time and time again. Now Durka takes up the mantle. A gorgeous spray. Safe and sender. Tagged extremely low, and it ain't gonna stop there. It's a kill. It's coming. No, he doesn't continue the spray. 23 bullets. Oh, a little bit off, but the damage done, and Vitality's early idea to go fast towards A is now stopped. It's halted completely.
I think he tried to bait him with the reload, because he reloaded, switched away, and then spammed just a little bit more.
It could be.
Mind games. Odin mind games. That's the place we've got to. I hate it here. We're going back to the B side, though, for Vitality. A couple of players already waiting. The main going to be Chronicle. 1 away from the Viper's pit, but it seems like he's also making the move back towards that seaside. So a plant seemingly inevitable.
I don't think there's much to deny this, the side of Fnatic. They have got a lockdown for the fight back into the B site, and I think that's going to be, yeah, here it is. Alpha dropping the lockdown. For Vitality, fighting forward into that is not going to be ideal. They don't know how much they're running into, so they got to find a safe haven, and it's towards the broken door. 3, make that 4 players there. 1 inside of main for Trex, and the defuse already halfway. Some utility thrown through that will certainly delay, but they have to win their fights afterwards. This is where the real trouble begins, and, well, that ult is not going to be fully committed. They've tapped it. Here comes the big swing, but all guns from Fnatic are trained on the choke point. Every kill found. The defuse across the line. Question is, will these players carry their stingers forward? I'm not sure they'll want to, and there you go. They're obliged.
Yeah, it's a really, really good retake in the end from Fnatic. Using that lockdown, but also the one-way smoke. Just being able to hold off any of those stingers, because you're just running in and you can be spotted way before you can see anybody over on the other side. 3 rounds in a row now for Fnatic. As said, that was a low purchase for Vitality, so it's not like they're going to be too sad about losing that one, but in a post-plant, not doing any damage at all, it's not going to feel great.
No, it's not. It definitely looks like the wind's being taken out of their sails. Fnatic hands on the reins, and for Vitality, well, we've seen this a couple of times. Nade, though, on the same old spot. The utility isn't. Fnatic have switched it around, so it'll avoid any of that early damage from the Raze util. The spams also keep the nano online. It is an ambitious spot to be in with an Odin, I will say. Behind the door, you at least have the environmental armar.
See, are you using the word ambitious for bad?
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
Just wanted to check.
Yeah, I'm not
I know you're a fan of the gun, but I just want to...
Oh, I like it, and I like using it behind a wall, but rubble maybe isn't the correct wall to do that on.
Yeah, you don't think you can wall back.
It's a little too thick. But, you know, as a snake in the grass, look, every round, Durka's been in tree. Every single round. So where do you think he is this round, if you're Vitality? You probably think he's in tree. You've even heard the Odin spraying away. So now they try to focus. Oh, no, they've seen him. So never mind. Yeah. The element of surprise out the window. I thought Boaster could bait for him instead. Yeah, why not? Just swing them with the Odin. What is this? I take back everything I said, Durka. I apologize. The best position to use the Odin must be rubble. A triple kill, and the round already secured, more or less. He's still going.
He is still going. He wants to almost just completely shut them down. And while the remaining players are also tagged up, so he would shred them. Like, there would be no hope. You're going to try and make a walk through the B site, but ultimately the only goal here is to just hold on to the
10
guns.
seconds left.
No real opportunity for Vitality to find anything more in this one. And they are starting to get shut out of this half. They were 5-0 up in the lead. It looks like Fnatic are getting closer and closer to equalizing. Come on, Trex. I think he's just going to get away with holding onto the gun, as nobody really wants to push any further.
Well, the ball started rolling with Boaster making a last-second play to stop the spike from being planted, and this is where we've ended up 5-0 to 5-4, and in ridiculous fashion also.
Well, Boaster's utility in this round is just perfect. I think if that's Durka playing on his own, he is dead. But you have a paranoia to get the first player, and then the one-way smoke. So again, he's just able to spam those bullets before anybody can even get close. Solid support on the Fnatic side.
Where are you?
Come on, Durka. Durkin.
He is Durkin. It's Durkin time.
I've heard you enjoy that.
And I don't typically enjoy it, but it does happen to me.
Okay.
Let me tell you that. The rank stacks can be tough at times. Vitality, lots of weaknesses in this round. 2 Sheriffs and a Ghost. It won't be easy to take these battles. And the Showstopper is back online for Fnatic. So a safety net to fall back into, and this might not even be the round they look to use it. For Vitality, they've tested the extremities of the map. Now they try to test the middle, but the lands between aren't any easier to conquer, as they're soon to find out. Hero the first to take him down. Now, they might even concede the space.
Yeah, the only positive of Trex going down is that his rifle is now insane. That's the only thing I've got. Not the start they were looking for. And again, it's a switch up. You've had these super passive rounds. Now you have another where you've just got Durka massively aggressive with that Odin, but also has a Showstopper to back him up. And instead they're going to try and pressure onto Chronicle. Runner's done well. Able to isolate that opener. He'll get the information of where the remaining players are as well, and that will mean things are safe to plant.
30 seconds left.
Safe doesn't seem happy with that. He's fighting right into them. The flash is perfect. The kill to follow even better, but he's still going. He's still committing to the fight. Boaster's down, and now the Odin desperately trying to root him from position will do so, but there's a few more players here. That might not bother Durka, but the paranoia certainly will. He's sent back. Showstopper used though. Here comes the space take. Good shot, but he doesn't get Sender, the player who could take him down. That was close. Well, Hero has some info. He knows where one of them are, but Runner's going to be a little bit more difficult to find. He spotted him. The information doesn't come at a cost, but the time ticking low is really the concern. Finding these fights will be difficult. Oh, I thought Sender had backed around the corner. He was on the ramp, still a chance. Hero, he's pulling out the shorty. What a try! 4 HP, a narrow margin, but just enough for Vitality.
Yeah, the time may have already gone. It was going to be very close anyway, but even still, a nice attempt. I believe as well, if you go to the clutch percentages, he's actually right at the top of the moment, which is absurd for a player that's standing in for a team, a youngster.
Nice,
that has definitely made his name known.
That's how we play them up, guys. Trust now the plan.
Come on, Vitality after a 4-round streak managed to win one where they had weaker weaponry, obviously. It came with a little bit of help from Safe and that raw individual skill. Now, though, a complete switch up and he's gone. That's not the man you want to lose early in this round.
No, it really isn't. The Hunt's gone through, but too little, too late. The angle might be clear. That's because they've got their pick. Man to the advantage for Fnatic. Still, all that utility up close, and, well, you know what they've used typically on Vitality to clear that util has been the Raze util, the nade.
I swear he was still walking.
I'm pretty sure he was. I'm almost certain of it. They must have quickly tapped the stop key. Gorgeous stuff. 5 versus 3. Vitality, well, they win a round, and Fnatic seem right back in control. Timing could be key. Boaster, one player's already slipped through, now 2 posted. Flash to go through, he's forced back. No, he's not. Boaster will stand his ground and find a kill for his trouble.
This is looking rough now. I think the initial plan was to try and use the Rolling Thunder. Now, well, there's absolutely no shot that is going to be thrown in this round. And Chronicle, I'm going to be honest, and Andaluthia flawless, but that's a very different triple kill to what we saw with Durka. I think Durka was using about maybe 200, 250 bullets a round, whereas I genuinely think Chronicle used about 6.
That's nasty. His first was gorgeous. I want to see the rest. I mean, that one's fairly easy, but this one, long range, just a few bullets. Look at that. Every shot was on the head, even after he died. That was fantastic. 6-5. I like that we're getting the different perspective. I feel like I'll have to do a rundown of like, who is this guy with the Odin? Like, what's his Odin identity? I like it.
Right.
Chronicles just stand in the open, use it like an op.
Seems to be working. Seems to be working. A few pieces missing here in the last round. Safe. It's going to be avoided. This has happened a couple of times. Oh, I get flashbacks when Alpha's standing behind that box. He survives this time. Didn't kill him. No idea how. Definitely should have died. You've also got the Nightfall ready and set up. It's going to be used as a counter. And Boaster's now looking to come in from behind. I don't even know if they would have heard anything. Runner, in fact, forced back, and he's down.
Yeah, Vitality have to fight forward with their back. Now giving up. Scrapping straight towards Alpha Yer, but the support from Sender's enough after the first few shots not landed and difficult to get around here with the operator. Dirk is hoping they push him, make a mistake, but Vitality don't need to press forward, although they might need to press backwards in a moment. Dirk is staying alive, puts the pressure on. They have to split the retention. Not anymore. Down to a stinger, and down to the shorty. Okay, okay! Got a little bit too close, but time was already quite far gone. 7-5 to close this one out. After a 5-0 start, I'm sure Vitality would have wanted more, but it's not the worst half.
No, for sure. And I think especially those direct C hits looked really good. When they're able to take that space, not lose that early man, I feel like Safe and Sender especially just did fantastic work being able to take that aggressive spot towards the spawn and just stop the rotations. So we saw Durka, well, fighting until the very end of the round, just trying to get in and get that control. And when you don't have players coming from that angle, it's going to be so much more difficult. 7-5. It's not bad from Vitality, but as I said, when they've had their struggles, I definitely think it's been on that defensive side. And that's the same for most teams. And if I think about this map, and I think about Fnatic, it's always been about their attack.
Well, that's it. This is where they'll put the rounds up, and we'll see if Vitality have enough of a buffer to stand this storm. A few pistols upgraded, 3 ghosts for the side of Fnatic. Same can be said for Vitality. Early aggression on C, quelled by the one-way smoke, put down by Sender. Vitality, well, have a little bit of a lurk to watch out for, but with a trap covering the walk up and even occasional peek from Runner, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's one player in the form of Chronicle left towards A, the rest fighting for some control of Rubble. But what that indicates to us, definitely, is that this squad wants to take control, maybe even a kill, or force those players back, and afterwards, take it in the other direction. At least that's my assumption. See if they follow through with.
Definitely playing with a lot of sound cues. I guess the other thing as well is when you don't have the utility on that side of the map, you want to hold on to it. So you've got the turret that will watch towards B while Alpha is still alive. But there's nothing to really hold unless he sits within the middle. So it means that they keep that control. They have now doubled back, but it hasn't really pulled any form of rotation. Still got plenty of utility to play with. Runner trying to hold them back a little bit further. Spike dropped. He now knows that the rest of the team are going to be running in his direction and even using that cam to slow them a little more. Fnatic are running out of time.
15 seconds. Looks like they're shifting attention towards the broken door, but there's a nade waiting for them. That will run the clock even lower. Give the spike, and we'll see how long Safe can hold on to it for. Just a few more seconds will be enough, and I think he's already done it. Certainly with the support of Trex. Runner just needs to survive, and he's running for the hills. Alpha, it doesn't even get the kill. And if he did, it wouldn't matter anyway. 8-5, and a pistol for Vitality extends that lead.
Yeah, I really like the setup. You have the cage to basically slow them down as much as possible, allowed to isolate a duel, the cam to slow them again, and that was the whole plan in this round. Like, it was less about whether you won the fights, and it was more about just making sure all of those battles were isolated. I think Safe knew it as well with the amount of time left, the time to break the door and just throw that nade straight down so that anybody who runs through that will almost immediately die, and then that drops the spike as well. 8-5. An important pistol round for Vitality, to say the least. Again, I feel like they've been the masters so far of winning their opponent's map choice, breaking streaks. I believe it's been 4 maps in a row for Fnatic, but after breaking the 10 and the 6 of Heretics yesterday, 4 doesn't seem like that much.
No. Certainly a manageable gap. That's not the best of opening duels for Fnatic. Dirk has gone through. Trap was destroyed, but so was he. With Alfier trying to take space on the other side, he certainly didn't find a wide open site. Vitality have not been overreacting. They've not been leaving any blank spots so far in his early days on the defense. I like what I'm seeing. It's a round where Fnatic don't have much to work with, and, well, even less now. Just 2 classics left floating about, and a quick triple swing should put this one to bed. Not quite the Andalucia flawless, but close enough, and a pistol's all that's lost.
Yeah, there'll be the retrieval of any extra weaponry that is available to them. While now Fnatic once again need to try and break back, and bear in mind the way that the last half started was a 5-0 streak for the side of Vitality. They won their bonus round, and look at what they've got here. They're coming in with 5 rifles nonetheless, so Fnatic have got to be careful that that one doesn't happen again. Otherwise they might be heading to sunset with a 0-1.
Runner does well to do a bit of damage, but he's dropped off rip. Safe is isolated and taken down easily. Trex tried to step in to help, but oh, that has not gone the way of Vitality. 2 players left. On the other side of the map, locked out. The question of damage comes into play for Fnatic. This is a 1 round.
He's already going to have Showstopper as well. That plant will allow Durka to have that. I don't expect him to use it in this round. There are 2 players left, unless he really wanted to try and just flex. And, well, he's added another kill anyway, even without having that Showstopper. To say that it's not been the best map so far from Fnatic wouldn't be surprising, but Durka, I believe that's already maybe his 20th kill. Like, he really has been fragging off the chains, and, well, you mentioned in the last round, wasn't quite an Andalucia flawless, but this one was an Andalucia flawless.
Yeah, for Fnatic instead of for Vitality. A little moneymaker round, building up the credits. Well, I'll tell you, if Safe came in with the idea of outdoing Durka, he certainly got his hands full in that task.
Yeah, we'd be like, yeah, no, I saw about the team.
Yeah,
just wanted to make
I actually
sure,
never cared about the head-to-head. All I cared about was the win. Different story if you swap that kill feed.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, just eco kills, you know, just eco kills.
Yeah, exits. You know, they lost so many rounds. They're just playing exits. It's easy, man. I could have done that, but we were winning. Vitality, I like the buy. We've got an Odin and an Outlaw. And I'll tell you what else we got. A smile on my face. Excited to see how this one's going to play out. Sender is the one with the Odin. The Outlaw is backing up the same position that your spams are going to come in on. You do 10 damage with a spam, Trex can one-shot him. That's a dangerous combo.
This is the fun thing. Obviously, everyone knows that Pansy is the bias Fnatic fan.
Yes.
But in this round, I am, just because I want that smile to disappear off your face.
See, you don't understand, Tom. I've talked to you a lot about Killjoy with an Outlaw. Playing with the turret, it does 10 damage, 12 typically, and then you're able to swing in and knock him down. In this case, Sender is the turret. He's a human turret.
Oh, I'm sure he'll love that. I'm sure no one would take that in a bad way, would it?
He'll love it.
Sender, you're just like a turret.
You're like
just like Timmy the turret. You're doing like 15 damage with a load of bullets.
Trex's turret. I love it. Oh, Vitality, they won't get the combat towards A, so we won't see that terrible combination. Instead, it is very much going to be a concentrated C hit coming from Fnatic with Showstopper to lead the way.
Thing is, they've already backed out of there. Although I will say, Runner is a little bit closer than I was expecting. Not going to take any damage in the end as the wrong corner was chosen. Nade goes over the top and actually could do far more. Instead, though, Durka, he really is just playing for his life. He's taken over this round. Well, the Outlaws at least got one. Mitch might have a slight smile, but Trex is now just trying to run away to hold on to that Odin. To be honest, it doesn't seem like anybody's stopping Durka at this point.
No. It very much doesn't. He is on fire. 9-7, locked in with this save. I will say, Trex, we loved his utility on a Sova. It's been fantastic there, but grabbing a kill on the Outlaw, immediately picking up the Odin and going to save? Wow, I wish my teammates were like that. Although, I guess it'd be better if he didn't have to save.
Yeah, it'd be better if he wasn't the only one alive and 4 people on the other team were alive. But, you know, yeah.
Making the best of a bad situation,
the little things, I guess.
It is. That's what it's all about. The sprinkles of happiness. Well, 9-7, and again, you can't look at much more than, the way they take the space is good, but Durka just dancing around.
Well, they jump baited to try and get him killed, and he still hits the head of the second player swinging after the bait. Like, it is just how quick he is on the trigger. That's a 23-10, and they're still currently behind. It shows Still more needed. I think 30 will be a minimum unless we're going to see some of the other players really step up. It's been a bit quieter for Althea than we're used to seeing, especially in his recent form.
Oh, Fnatic. They usually play quite well against an op, you know? They know when the op's in play and they avoid it or they use the util to flush it out. Here they know they've saved an Odin and they go, hey, Tom? Are they crazy? Giving them a chance. But it's only early to take Rubble, to deny the control. And a very important part of this map. Rubble control, we see teams single-handedly win it again and again. Haunt, even if it marks them completely, they're in positions where Trax can't wallbang them. He can't find the kill, you know.
Also, he's the one throwing it, obviously, because he is the Fade. That's where it becomes a little bit more difficult to react quickly enough. Runner under pressure again. He doesn't have much to play with. Nade on him. He's getting spammed to oblivion. There was no way he was surviving in that scenario. Safe, though, is going to go running in. He's going to try and hit the shot, and he does. Takes out one. He's actually popped the showstopper as well. Wants a little bit more. He's trying to take this round home. Instead, though, Fnatic are backing away. There may be 3 players within this site, but that's actually all right. Vitality is a chance to pick up some guns. Timing good for Sender. Puts it into a 2 versus 2, but bear in mind the Safe is desperately low. And Fnatic are going to go all the way to the other side of the map.
Yeah, look for a second like we might have Trex there in time, but he's a little bit late, lagging behind, looking for a lurk up through B. That's going to give Fnatic the space to at least plant this spike. Safely set up for their post plants. Althea not quite taking safety into account. He's looking for the head peek. He wants to catch him on the way in, and that's it. That's the round sealed. There's no way Safe goes for this. With 5 HP and a Guardian, maybe there is. And he's missed the shot. Now, no, he's still going. He's still fighting. Fair play. He believed in himself, but, well, the result swings to Fnatic.
So I have a question. There was actually an Odin on the floor just to his left, and he decided not to pick that up and go in with 5 HP. What's your opinion on that?
He's trolling. I believe the correct term is trolling. But, you know, he believed in himself winning the round. Maybe if he had the Odin, he would have, you know, head peek angle and all that, right? Okay.
The 5 HP 1v2.
With an Odin, yeah. It could have worked. You can't prove that it wouldn't. But 9-8, 1 round gap. Fnatic certainly back in the swing of things. No Odin for Vitality, so it's going to be a tough round. And the attacking side, they're not quite up there when it comes to the ultimates, but 1 away from a Viper's Pit as well. If that plant goes in for Chronicle, this round will be very tough to pull back into Vitality's favor.
Even the Orb, if he was to take it outside of C, there's plenty he could do. It seems like they might not need it. They're really not putting the pressure on Runner. That seems to be the plan over the last few rounds, is try and pinpoint this man, but he started off well, taking out the danger man of Durka. As you said, a plant here for Chronicle would be big, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be the one with the spike. Currently in Hero's hands, and he is in an aggressive position. 3 players already up close.
There.
He's going
and now they're realizing, yeah, there you go, finally. It took a long time for Chronicle to get there, but now he can try and throw in that Viper's Pit. The stun, though, is immediate. They're going to try and pressure him straight off the bat, but he's not won that duel. Safe is down. Even still, the spams have worked, and now it's left all onto Chronicle to clutch, and the retake is clean. 4 players surviving for Vitality. They'll be the first to hit double digits.
A great angle by Sender as well. Quick double to clean up the last stages of the round. The fact that they have a neural theft as well, playing perfectly into their plan. After you find that opening pick, hat off your head, find out where they are in that pit. It doesn't block bullets. Double digits found for Vitality. They're off the starting block, and, well, this was a pretty threatening round, even after finding the opening pick. Now, I think there's going to be an adjustment from Durka. I imagine nades and blast packs are going to be pretty frequent now in on the C side. Same thing that we saw from Vitality on their attack to get rid of the Killjoy utility. A little bit more pointed as they'll attempt to remove the traps.
This goes here.
There was 3 rounds in a row. Vitality managed to break that streak, but it doesn't mean it can't come right back at them. They've definitely got to be careful that this isn't an immediate response. Straight up, a lot of utility is going to be expended to hold on to that initial control of Rubble. The fact is, though, Fnatic really seem dedicated to just pushing Runner to the limits. Already an immediate rotation. In fact, it looks like the entirety of Vitality have already shifted away from that A site.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's enough utility being thrown into C that gives it away, and the ult even more so for Vitality. Yeah, they've managed to back off just enough, and Trex has one of his own. Nightfall about to be thrown in, and this is where the big blitz play comes in. Sender has an ultimate, but it's not going to be used. Instead, they're focusing on pushing through this choke point safe. Again, down to 5 HP, now down to 1 with the C's. And in a little bit of trouble if he takes a fight. The wall bangs, the sprays, not quite catching them though. Vitality still not pushed all the way up to the spike, only now rounding the corner. Time starting to tick down, and with deep post plans for Fnatic and some utility, all they look to do is hold this one out. Haunt still available for Hero, and it's runner left in a 1v4, destroying the util. They know where he is, and it's an easy follow through for Fnatic. This was simple. They get hit by the Nightfall, they fall outside of the site, and Vitality, I think, take just a little too long to get back in.
Yeah, I think also just you get into that position, the spams can sometimes do enough, but I like the fact that they leave Hero up close. It was almost like the snake in the grass while they're constantly spamming from afar. He's just still sat there making things incredibly awkward. Again, this youngster shows his value. Second on the board, 17 and 11 right now. Similarly to Runner on the other side.
Let's go, boys!
And now just one the difference. We've seen this many a time, teams with a vast lead over Fnatic.
A hot prospect for anyone who's looking to rebuild after this year.
Also, the other players on Fnatic might have to be a little bit nervous, because you kind of got to go like,
oh, no.
Do you let someone else have this guy? Like, or do you just keep him around, or maybe just have him there looming in the darkness, almost like the Undertaker, just like stood behind you like, you better be careful.
Oh, you had a bad day today, huh?
But either way, he will be with them for Champions. I think that's a great opportunity for someone so talented. We'll see, though. In this matchup, as said, the winner claims a spot in the final. For Fnatic, they've always had the number of Vitality, a team that they've been consistently beating. But I said that about Na'Vi, and while Vitality have already beaten a couple of demons, Heretics being one of them, to make it to Champions now at Grand Final. Just a map away. Well, a map and a bit.
Yeah. Still need to close this one out. And it could be a long enough road, especially with some weaknesses. Well, mostly nothing but weaknesses, let's say, in this round for Vitality. Pistols, SMGs, and a Guardian. Rolling Thunder one away. Sander has ult, but I don't think they'll be able to pull the win from the shadows. For Fnatic, a very patient start. Utility removed on C. Prowler put in. Pressure applied. The lurk out on A. Waiting for an opportunity to pick someone off. You know, I thought it was going to be a silent lurk, but Bo's just kind of giving it away with a few of those Odin shots rattling off. Stun is good, nade is good, damage is fantastic, and it's a free kill for Safe. They've got Chronicle too. This is looking doable for Vitality with time low. They've got to push straight through the smoke, and look where Kix is repositioned to. It's gorgeous from Kix. The Spectre in this round, the highlight. And sure, you'll grab 2 with the Odin, and listen, I applaud you, Boaster, but the time is already gone. 11 on the board for Vitality with a pay safe card, Thrifty.
Yeah, that is just a huge round for them to take away. I don't think even after the pause Gorilla had in his wildest dreams that they would turn that into a 5 versus 1, that they would win multiple battles, that the stun would perfectly hold Durka in place to get the opener, but it was also just how slow Fnatic were. Like, I always get uncomfortable in rounds where you know your opponents have a low buy, sure you're going to take your time, you're going to try and feel out the map, but it gets to those last like 15 seconds and that's when you're executing. Because that's where the opposing team, they're going to have gambled, they're going to have taken risks. And while in this case, all of them paid off. 11 now on the board, economy booming for the side of Vitality. They got to pick up all the weaponry and even have themselves an operator onto Safe, which hasn't been a part of this so far. He's going to be deep over on this C control, and they could just lock down half of the map. Bear in mind, this has been a spot that Fnatic have regularly switched back to. This time, though, it looks like B is the point of call.
Yeah, and lockdown very much being saved for post-plant. That's a very dangerous tool for Fnatic to have at their disposal. Durka rounding this smoke. He's seen him, but the shots don't land. The gap is too narrow, and now he's in trouble. Pressured and pushed down upon. Boaster grabs one at least in return, and Hero does the same. Okay, it goes from bad to worse then for Vitality. Disadvantage plus kick super low. Operator for Safe. There's the shot onto Hero. but they've realized the rotations have come through. Back to the C site they go, but so does Safe. He's blasted his way in just in time. Ult from Sender towards the back of the site, and that's the spike drop. Problems brewing for Fnatic. Alphayer sat with his lockdown and no chance to use it. Late lurk though, that's what he's buying time for, hoping that Chronicle can find the impact, but he's watched the leg shot, not enough to take him down. 5 HP, and the door opens yet again, moving back to the B site. Post-plant lockdown could come into play. Oh, in fact, all the way to A, and that's the right play. They'll get a free plant with Chronicle left out to make use of this 5 HP by, well, I was going to say stabbing them in the back. Instead, it's going to be full frontal assault.
It's the 1-for-1. That was both low HP players gone, but it's the confidence that left into Alpha. The one gap, the one risk is that door. But once he hears any form of drop, any form of sound, even the smoke, it's enough for him to just try and buy the time. For Sender, the goal was to maybe try and get that one to half, but he has no choice but to try and fall back, hold at least for a little bit longer. And that's the thing, the time is now already going to be ticking fairly fast. He needs to get this one to half fairly quick, and it's not going to be happening. Alpha, a safe pair of hands when it comes to the clutch. And well, again, the difference comes down to just one.
He not only wins the clutch, but it's the fact that he buys so much time on C, stays alive, avoids those fights, and allows Chronicle to get up behind. In fact, the Chronicle avoids death to this operator. It was very, very close. They're just about below the waist, and that's all that he needed to survive for one more kill, to take down Kicks and give them the 10th round. One away from Vitality, frustration brewing for the defensive side, as they've now been caught. Fnatic are hot on their heels. Oh, that's done damage. Yeah, Sender's gonna be a little scared, but that's the map of the Classic.
Yeah, I was about to say, he doesn't even have a gun. It's the extra money that they got from that thrifty win that will give them a few extra rifles in this one. Now, Safe is one off a showstopper. There are still possibilities in this round, although so is Durka. They've already taken an awful lot of control. It's not something that's really been available to be fought for. Safe is going to try and just get up in their face. This man in rounds like this will love to take a risk, and now they're starting to pincer in. Trex has already managed to get one, but they've spotted Safe. They've spotted him fighting, and Durka has managed to win at least the initial battle. But Safe is still standing. Low HP, though, and tagged just that little bit lower. With Spike under their control, Fnatic may not know that both players currently sit within this B side, but they're waiting for the repeat from Safe. And now the only man standing in their way is Runner.
The wall's even covered Chronicle as he falls back towards the door. Wall down, and that's his peek from the left. Beautiful stuff. Gorgeous round from Chronicle. And this is what I'm talking about, just the value that you get from having that Viper. First of all, at the start of the round, denying Rubble control, or making it so that if you do push it, you've all got to push past that Viper's wall. You've got to be out in the open. And then, late round, popping it up, denying information from your opponents again and again. And even making some nasty little plays like that.
We cannot.
11?
We cannot. We were full running.
11-11. Vitality, well, exactly as Safe said, they need to focus. This is the time to get it across the line, at least guarantee an overtime in a map that they have fought hard for, but this is Fnatic's pick for a reason, and their attack side is to be feared. The pressure will be applied to Boaster. The one way, though, should keep them back. The showstopper, oh, it's used, but they're a bit hesitant to go for it. Boaster's created some space, now sitting down in the spawn, and it's not fired upon. The gamble is wrong, and Vitality now reinforcing the C site. But we've seen a number of times Fnatic willing to go back. They're not going back, not this time. Showstopper of their own.
I think Durka's going to end up getting caught. I think he's hoping to try and chase them down, and he will at least claim the spot. This is somewhere that Vitality love to fight from, and they themselves are going to try and push this back. The thing is, look at the investment into ultimates. Counter Nightfall to try and grab that little bit of extra space. And there is a gap around the side of the pit that they might be able to sneak through, but just look at where Alfia is watching. He is waiting on that edge to try and watch anybody, but they are aware of it. Trades back, keeping things even for now, but Chronicle's pit is still standing. He's in a ratty little spot, just holding to make sure that it's never really removed. And they need to clear him. They need to find him, and he's still just lurking within the darkness, not being spotted by anybody on this Vitality side, and finally looks to strike. Durka may have been dropped, but they still haven't killed Chronicle. They still haven't found Chronicle, who just hides within the pit the entire time. The time already gone, as now Fnatic will take take a round. Safe has eliminated everybody, but it means nada.
That's got to be a frustrating way to lose it too. Fighting through the pit, behind it, in front of it. Take your pick. Safe was winning everything.
He's literally the Green Goblin. Like, he is just literally just sneaking his way through, and no one can find him. Just disgusting stuff for Chronicle. But that is the thing. Like, you're talking about cerebral, intelligent players. Chronicle is right at the top of the list. Like, he had his orb positioned so that he could dodge anyone that might be able to spot him on a pixel. Like, the guy's just so clever in his movement that, I think he gets 1, maybe 2 kills in that. It's irrelevant because you just can't get rid of the pit.
Yeah, this is the problem. And the players have to be fought on Mound because their spams are going to be so much more deadly once you're being decayed down to 1 HP.
Yeah.
A nearly impossible round. And Safe, well, listen, he tried his best. 4 kills, but not enough this time. Not in time. Vitality, well, they've lost the lead at an inopportune time. Fnatic now just 1 away from taking this map, and despite it being hard fought, it won't be reflected in the scoreline. They got a stun off on a player. Durka was doomed, yet somehow, after they crunch with 4, they're left in a 5 versus 3. Vitality, I honestly feel like they're unlucky in some of these fights, but you gotta commend Fnatic for being able to punish again and again.
Yeah, it was a headshot through the cage from Chronicle. B-side now completely under the control of Fnatic. Only Trek stands, hoping to try and maybe get a little bit of information. Kix definitely has a good idea of where Boaster is, but it may not matter. The plant will be coming in. No ultimates to be played with, and they're even looking to potentially try and challenge this guy with just Alpha. You're sitting so close. Even still, though, right now that time Mitch is already ticking. They need to get a move on.
Alpha's just lobbed a nano at them on the door as well. Insult to injury, further slowing the round, making them walk into the angle of Boaster. And now Kix, well, it's a formality. 13 to 11. Vitality put up a good fight, but in the end, Fnatic sneak up.
Of their streak, so I don't think that there are any way or form slouches on this map. I think that, well, I like that Zeus was talking about there's an easy way to shut down Safe, because I think this has been a map where he's been truly incredible. So if there is an easy way, I hope Fnatic also know that, because it doesn't seem that way. He has gone the exact way that Zeus was saying he would, though, so, you know, he's got the read.
He has. Listen, I've heard Zeus might know his stuff. A little push out from Fnatic, though, depositing Boaster down on mid this time, and the nice shots connected. Second player was there, but Dirk has gone the other direction, sensing this full rotation. Got some support here from Alpha here. Could be a stun, ready to fire out. Could be a double swing. Let's see, this flash is available as well. There's the stun. It's a little bit too shallow, though. The player is able to reset, taking down Chronicle. Now Vitality have a ton of control, but these attackers are split into groups of 2, and they've got to find a way to unite. And the only way is straight through the Fnatic squad. Perhaps the off angle, though. Kix coming back a little earlier than expected. Could be what pulls this across the line. The element of surprise certainly works for 1, for 2, in fact, or 3 in this round. And he'll even follow up with a 4th. Great start from Kix.
Oh, it's really big round from him. I think the fact that, although Fnatic had the read on the 2 players rotating, I don't think they had the read on the other 2. And that Kix was the main one. I think he manages to clear Chronicle from the spawn.
Yep.
And it just becomes so difficult, where to rotate from. And then they double back to group up together. Like, just that little bit of initiative to make sure they're not the ones being surrounded made all of the difference in that round. And while Vitality, again, they're always off to a fly when it comes to these pistol rounds. They've been fantastic in getting those early advantages. I think, again, they are now 3-0 in pistols. I think they're one of the teams that seem to be the best at those very rounds. For now, well, let's look at what Fnatic have. It is 5 classics. This is a map as well where we've seen them play recently, like in decent form, but against like a beating Foot very closely, beating KC equally as closely. And I feel like Vitality right now, other than maybe Heretics, are at the top, even though they beat them.
Fnatic have done a great job. The pressure on A sends Sender scrambling back to mid. He's picked off, and with the smoke down, they can recover that weapon. I mean, that's definitely not a bad start. Man advantage and a Guardian to work with in a round like this. Even getting a kill and removing a rifle could be huge. Now, if they go down, that rifle can't be recovered. So they're bringing it to the fight. They better find some value for it instead of just giving it right into the hands of Vitality, who've now lost too many.
Oh, no.
Oh, the damage is massive and extended on further. Not just economic damage, but the rounds will be affected 1-1. with a pay safeguard thrifty for Fnatic. That one has gotta hurt Vitality.
Oh, that was 5 classics. That was five classics. I don't know how they've managed to let that one slip. Like, I think the trades out from Fnatic as always were fantastic. Again.
Okay, it might look silly. Keep in mind, he'd been stunned. He'd been pushed on by 2 players behind him, and he thought they were about to round the corner. So he is just panicking in that moment. It is silly, but it's understandable, somewhat.
So what your description was that it looked silly and was silly?
Yes, but there was a reason for that to happen.
Okay.
What is Poster doing? He's pumping iron on the stage. Fair play.
Oh yeah, they managed to get the kill with the Retrieve Guardian as well, so a solid round from Boaster, but yeah, one that Vitality should never be losing. And now they're going to go for a hero rifle on track, so he's going to be the one sort of glimmer of hope. But you look at the economy, this is a round 3 purchase from Fnatic that has all rifles and some cash still in the bank. Durka definitely did not expect there to be a rifle on the other side though, as he has gone wide, and now this gets a little bit dangerous because that's going to be a second rifle now into the hands of Vitality.
It's getting closer to a full buy, and with the man advantages to work with. Oh, almost baited in. Safe is tagged, but not deleted. And a kill desperately needed by Fnatic. They need to thin the herd. Ult used, committed by Kicks. Those early kills have gotten them great rewards. Utility stripped, and the site now taken. Plant could even be secured. A little bit more damage done. Safe 78, Trex 85, but man advantage, 2 rifles. This is a winnable round.
Planted.
The timing was perfect as well. Boaster just placed a start to try and slow them down. They know where Safe is. A couple of players rounding this corner. The flash, well, it doesn't work out as maybe they'd hope. Sender, well, he's got any other gun, and that might have been a kill. Unfortunately, the classic wall runner had a chance, but it slips. It's going to be left onto Kicks again, really. The classic not going to get anything, and this man going to try and take the round already. Gets himself another. Down to the 1 versus 2, even hits the shot onto Hero, and now it's left all onto 1. Him versus Chronicle for the round. Time ticking away, he's trying to bait him in, and Wall succeeds in it. It will be another round for Fnatic, but neither of these purchases have been clean by either side.
No, this has been a scrappy start to Sunset, let me tell you. But a 2-1 in favor of the team that lost the pistol. Now, no economy damage is going to make up for that. Defensive side sitting pretty. I like the idea. The flash was just a little bit too early. I was wondering because Trex the whole time was stuck up close, reveal, showed Safe, and they tried to double swing on it. It is a great idea, but the execution just a little bit lacking. 2-1. And rifles come out for Vitality, but this game has all been about Kicks so far. He is 7-2. He's almost got his ult online again.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. It's an expensive ultimate as well, so see how many times he can get it. Durka, you can see, a little bit more careful this time. He was nervous after the last round, but he's already going to have his ultimate online. And now, well, after showing that B main presence, right back towards the A site they go. However, it looks like Fnatic are much more happy to play a retake stance here.
Yeah, well, they've got some traps to try to punish off of. The only problem is, even if they trip it, there wasn't anyone close enough by. Now, they've seen where the trap is. Safe was waiting to break it, but Chronicle rips his head clean off. Spam is good. Some damage, and there's a little more. The reveal, perfect. And Kicks won't have a chance, nor will Sender. All through the wall, through smokes. They've yet to see a member of Fnatic, and there's only 2 players left on the attack. Runner down to 22 HP, another spam. I feel as if it's going to come through, but Hero, he's not going to get caught behind that smoke. Giving up the space, he's got 2 teammates to his back. Stun goes in, blast pack 2, there's the shot from Durka, and an easy finish for the hero of this round. 3-1 for Fnatic. They're off to a flying start after losing the pistol.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a fun game of just, we've got 2 initiator players who are so good with their darts. Like, this is the thing, like, don't get me wrong, it's still really clean aim from Hero to just, like, get both those kills with relative ease. But it's just the use of the dart and then his own trip that ends up catching the second player. And well, the last elimination almost seems too easy. 3-1, definitely a lot cleaner in this round as well. And well, Kicks 1 away from having his ult for the second time, but more importantly, Durka still has his.
Showstoppers online.
They found me.
Ready to go. Kicks is keeping knife as well. Late into the round. A lot of the time this is being used early on this corner to deny the utility from Fnatic to stop them from having the cam online. There is a trap waiting for them, but that's been heard at this point. See Safe looking down. They stun up after the cam spots contact. No punish. Vitality are playing patient. They're playing passive. The knife will catch Hero. Utility's gone. Stun is in. And they're just about to crunch on him. This could be dangerous, but he has some cover in the form of Alpha here. Watching the cross. There's the opening shot. Now he tucks in. Alpha, no, he doesn't. I thought it's Alpha's chance to fight. Instead, they're both getting involved. Hero left on 30, though, is not a clean position to be in. Shock Dart going to take him down. And we're back to a 3 versus 3. But damage done to Kicks, damage done to Trex, but Sender is just now being found. And he's opened up the A site, but the spike is dropped. And the man that's close by has only got 5 health. It should be an easy kill. They assume that he's here. They should know that he's here and that Sender's on his way from the other side of the map steps. They're heard.
Yeah.
Durka knows he's there.
The thing is, there's no time to sort of be sneaky. 20 seconds left on the clock. Durka, well, he needed to do 5. Yep, he's hit him in the head, and he knows where the last man's coming from. A little bit risky with the blast pack. And now the sprint is on. The thing is, you can look at Chronicle on the map, looking to try and meet his opponent. They won't be able to deny him. They might just send one in just to try and kill him off. The drone is almost definitely going to reveal. They know exactly where he's sitting from. 10 HP and the full force of the remaining players of Fnatic bearing down on him. And Chronicle's not even going to give him the time of day. The spam through the smoke will finish it. And what, again, was a back and forth round still falls into the hands of Fnatic.
It was a little bit of a risk to send the drone instead of just knife out running it down. You know you'll win off time, but there's also the risk that he taps it, immediately looks for the kill, and then plants. And then the round might be gone, or you'll have to use a showstopper to close it. So it's tough either way. You're playing blind, but that flank from Durka, this is what seals the round. And the fact that he had the info on another player running it down. 4-1 for Fnatic. And while you said this in the last map, Tom, and it's true, but the plants are, I mean, I might be wrong, but I thought when it was Kicks planting, if my memory serves me correctly, he was close enough to hear the trip. But again, communication in that moment, there's so much going on. It can be hard to connect. Hunter's Fury has been burned very early on. That's Chronicle looking for some tags, and Alpha here, the one to find the kill. Safe out of the round immediately after a fast slip and slide straight down to B main. Vitality have ended up on the back foot. Paranoia is good. Durka can't see a damn thing. He'll get his vision back in a second, and it's quick enough for him to respond, for the whole squad to answer up. Well, the initial fight is the only fight. 5-1 for Fnatic, and the pause nets Vitality nothing.
God, this is starting to get very, very scary. Something, again, it was Zosh mentioning on the desk, the fact that Safe is going to challenge for being main every round. I was like, well, let's see if Fnatic know that. They know that. They are waiting every single time. They had the Hunter's Fury ready to go in case they tried to run it down. And then they have Alpha, the second it goes off, just swinging to take him out. And that's the thing. If you're able to shut out Safe, especially on this map, this is a map where I think if you go back to even one of their previous victories, like he was pulling off ridiculous rounds for them to be able to close things out. If you can close him down, it becomes incredibly difficult for them to win this game. They'll need somebody to really pick up that slack. And right now, well, other than Kicks, there really hasn't been much.
You see there's still some investment for Vitality. Fnatic definitely know that, and I think this will be the round.
Still got 5 ults.
Yeah, this would be the round to use the showstopper, but again, with Kicks still floating around, you're always going to be conscious that the second you hit that ult, it's cancelled. Kicks is just going to be countering.
They're waiting, I think, for Runner. Just look at this current setup. The thing is, though, the distraction on the other side is sublime, but they're still watching. They know that that flank is coming. They're so ready for everything that is being attempted. Safe is going to try and put the world on his back. Just hold the spawn. Hunter's Fury, they're even going to push off it. I like the idea. Again, though, the initial kill still goes the way of Fnatic, and they haven't been able to do enough damage elsewhere.
The read was good. The Vitality side now struggling with the disadvantages, the timing. Oh, it's terrible. It depends on how quickly Hero gets around that corner, but I think he's got a free kill indeed. Trex backs in. The showstopper fired out, might not find Sender. Even if he gets one kill, now they all know exactly where he is. Divide and the defuse behind the wall anyways. There was no way to stop it. 6 on the board for Fnatic. Seems to be no way to stop them. And I think one of the big factors is Runner. We look back at some of these Vitality games, and he's a player who seems to be hitting those flanks, the disruption in the backline consistently, like Nats back in the day. But the problem is that once you start to realize that's what they're doing, you have to have that second layer to it now in the rest of the half, because Runner can't just do Runner things. They're ready for that.
No, and that seems to be the thing at the moment is, although this map up until like literally, well, a couple of weeks ago wasn't even played by Fnatic. It was their permaban until Abyss came into the pool. But they have done their prep. Like, they are well prepared for any of the flanks, any of the early aggression. And this is where you're kind of now looking at Vitality and going, do you have another layer? Do you have something extra? Because Fnatic have already won the half, or at least equalized it over on the defense. And as of yet, we've not really seen anything. Again, an immediate counter to the aggression. They're even going to try and push off the back of it. The Rolling Thunder will stop that control. And while these players are somewhat stuck in the mud, they're going to try and retreat back to that A site being revealed as they go. Chronicle, he's dropped the spike. He's dropped the spike on the deck. So now this becomes a fight for middle.
One of the most aggressive rounds I've seen. On the back of a flash, they blitz in and take mid control. At least the From the Shadows can be used to recover that spike. One of the biggest uses of this ult we've seen, other than going into your opponent's spawn. For Vitality, that at least gets them a plan, but they need the picks. We saw this in B. They had the disadvantage. Late lurk coming up, caught them off guard. The timing was absolutely perfect last time. Okay, Chronicle. He's been spotted. He's given away his position. Looking for the fight, but here's the double swing. Not expected. Stun was good as well. Safe out of the round. Runner and Sender now having a double up each to have a chance. And straight through the wall and the smoke. Sender goes down. Well, I don't know what he could have done about that. Runner now a big play to be had. He can't lurk, but he can maybe clutch out the round in the 1v4 already. Taking down two, but the third evades him. Hero seems very confident to run at people with a shorty. It seems to be his ace up the sleeve, and it's worked for a 7-1 scoreline. Again, after losing the pistol round.
Yeah, this has been fantastic from Fnatic all the way through. Like, they are forcing them into the fights that they want them to take. Completely denying B main, which Vitality clearly enjoy, and then also just running at them, like just pushing them all the way through. I think as well, some of the supportive utility, we see it in that remaining fight versus safe, like just the stun going.
Easy one to react to.
Well, look at the complete setup change as well for Fnatic. They've now put Hero alone on the B side. They've got 4 players towards A. It's understandable when you've been denied, what, like 5 rounds in a row taking B. Do you then continue to go? They the shock dart. I believe that's just to remove. They put a trip for the flank. Yeah. But it's actually tanked Runner instead. Like, he's on half HP just because of that. And now look at the stack up. They are completely aware. The thing is, though, there are players waiting on the other side. There isn't going to be any utility put in, but Dirk has still managed to win that fight. They're now just looking to retreat off it. They'll take that man advantage. And now they're stacked up again. Peeking into this would be pretty risky. There's even a Hunter's Fury alongside it, but Safe still takes the fight. Chronicle, though, is there again. And Safe is down on just 5 HP. The only thing he has is the element of surprise, which he will catch Dirk with.
Yeah, well, the problem, sure, it's a 3v3, but look at the health. Runner, after getting shock darted and kicks and Safe, taking a brunt of the damage in the initial fight. They're not in fighting shape. There has to be an element of surprise to these fights with the info of where the players are. They can maybe connect it. Alpha, 150 HP, ready for the fight, but Safe is rounded the back yet again. Putting the numbers into their favor. Runner's down to 8 health, Safe on 5, kicks 45. They're sharing the health of half a player.
Spike down A.
Now the chances run lower with the spike down. They just need to hold this down, knowing there's a player behind them, having an idea of Runner as well. There'll be no element of surprise anymore, just raw aim duels and ones that they're not favored in. This would be an ace from Safe, and a memorable play to say the least with 10 seconds left. Both players killable, but it looks like he's made the right call, which is to save this weapon.
It's unfortunate. Again, moments in this round, I think Safe did fantastically well with his repositioning, being able to get behind them twice. But it just seemed like the rest of the players were sort of stuck in the mud, didn't really have anywhere to go. And again, just want to talk about early round reads. You had the setup, kick things off. You had 3 players pushed up, another with a Hunter's Fury. The fact that this round was even competitive when they were that ready for everything that they were going to do shows how much damage that Safe was actually able to do. But when you're walking into a trap the entirety of the round, well, it feels inevitable that Fnatic were going to close it.
If this was one of the early rounds, I wouldn't have much to say about it. But again, they're just being beaten into the dirt at this point. 8-1 down. 8 in a row for Fnatic. Some closer rounds, and a great start to this one. Chronicle almost trades it back. Shock Dart could be good. It's bounced, and it's just about missed. Flank coming around from elbow, but too little, too late. Alfier's going to find himself alone, isolated, able to find one and two. It's a free kill on Trex. Caught in his util. A flash goes out. Here's the swing, and Safe is good for more. This guy is on fire. 3 kills in the round already, and he's still looking for more as the smoke fades. The barrel's spotted. He wants this fight on Hero, and Hero's been fantastic so far, but not good enough.
Feels like a Radiant in a gold lobby. Safe's just trying to take over this one all on his own. Almost comes back angry after losing that last one. Just basically taking fight after fight, but now falls back and has kicks for support. 2 kills off the Sheriff, but let's be real. It was the man on screen that basically took over that round on his own.
Yeah, Kicks might have closed the round out well, and listen, he hit some nice shots, but it's these entries from Safe. 2 in the elbow, staggered with 1 in between on short. And that space, that spike plant as a result of him. Safe currently 10 and 7 in a game where they are 8 and 2 down. Himself and Kicks are carrying a lot of the weight of this squad.
Yeah, Kicks was able to do quite a bit in the early rounds as well. Like, I think the 8 kills he had were literally in like the first 3 rounds or something. Yeah. But that was a I'll do it myself round from Safe. He's looking to try and recreate it this time. Up against an operator. Oh! What? Cinder is sliding along the ground. And well, the trades come back thick and fast. Chronicle's still here, caught out with utility, but Safe is there once again. And while Hero was left as the solo defender on the other side of the map, might get caught by Runner, who is still lurking. It seems like Hero was aware but looked away. A 3rd round for Vitality. The pace change, catching Fnatic for another round. Even still, though, they are far ahead.
That looked like Sander's life was saved by the Gravwell. I'm pretty sure those bullets were flying straight at him, but he was able to cha-cha slide over into safety. Here it is. That's so lucky for Sender. He lands and instantly moves out of the way while shooting. Oh, well.
One more in the cubby.
That'll work out. 8-3. 2 rounds in a row now for Vitality, finding their footing, breaking the win streak of Fnatic. The lead is significant and difficult to come back into this game. But they've done the groundwork here. The pistol in the next will carry some weight. Let's see if they can at least make it 8-4 and into a more manageable gap.
With a pistol under their belt in the next, well, it wouldn't even be that much of a difference. But a 9-3 and a pistol loss, we could be looking at a done deal already. Fnatic this time just opting to play full retake. I don't mind it. These brawls haven't really been going their way. The thing is though, a Hunter's Fury for Trex could be used late or could be used to disrupt. And this post plant is one that, well, hasn't really been allowed so far. Always awkward to try and face off against this, and not having the utility is going to make it that a little bit harder. Boaster, though, has kicked things off well. In fact, the aggression of Kicks is now punished. It's going to have to be that late flank, but were the steps heard? I don't think they have been. Doesn't seem like they're aware, but they will in just a second. And already being revealed, it's not going to happen. That Hunter's Fury needs to be unbelievable, and while now he's stuck in the mud, being pressured from all corners, there is no chance left for Trex to win this round. Just a few exit frags, as it will end 9-3 in favor of Fnatic.
Well, the pistol at 8-4 could have been Vitality getting hot on their heels, making that close game, but instead...
40 minutes, is that it?
40 minutes should get you at least one torque. We'll see what we can do after the game. But yeah, at 9-3, that pistol loss, if Vitality do lose it, yeah, I agree with you, Tom. That's end of the game. That's home stretch for Fnatic.
I don't even know.
Well, it makes me feel a little better.
Why is that the question he's asking? Oh, God.
Well, 9-3, I don't think it's going to matter too much whether Fnatic will thrive on the defense or attack. I think they've got enough in the tank to take this across.
They've just signed Anders. He'll be able to give you like a 12-hour manifesto.
Yeah, how long you got?
Yeah, he'll let you know, Bo, so don't worry. He's writing it down after the game.
17 A4 pages for you after this one.
That's the point. They've got a day or 2 off, don't they, if they make it through? So
he might make it through the document by the end.
Yeah, it would be maybe one more day. Maybe one more day.
I wonder how many pages Anders has on Deadlock.
Hopefully 0. Either way, push up. Good start from Trex. Gonna find the opener and double down with a shock dart. He's coming to try and steal some of those shock dart records away. Safe as well. Wow, this is already looking great. The second pistol, well, they've done it already. Unless Chronicle has a crazy clutch. pull this one back. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. First kill goes his way. Now, I've seen Vitality win a 1v5. I don't think I've ever seen them lose one.
First time for everything, Tom. Maybe with the spike in the open, though, it's going to be too much to ask. He's doing well to isolate some of these fights. Shock dart primed and ready. Crossed over, spike recovered, okay, and dodges the flash, but second player there to close it out. It's safe to put 4 on the board for Vitality. A 5-round gap. Well, if they can win this round, it's going to get that a little bit more manageable, but that could be a big if based on what we saw in the last half.
I'd hope not. If that happens twice, yeah, I think that...
Harash. Nice.
Wow.
Guys, we're so back. We're so back.
Gorilla's going to be a little bit unhappy, I think, if they lose both second rounds after winning the pistols. Probably be a little bit more difficult as well. Not going to be anything really invested once again. It'd have to be some serious mistakes as there were the last time out. Already, it seems a bit more spread for Fnatic. Maybe just trying to catch someone getting aggressive for now, though. Maybe hoping to realize some early tendencies, but other than that, just trying to play with the rotations a bit.
Camera taken out.
Yep, remove some of the utility on B. Cause some problems. Drawn out on mid sees nothing for Vitality. They've got the info to work with. That's clear. Some contact in B main. And you could, for some teams, see a shift towards the other side. But I see a ping here. I see Vitality staying in position on the A site. They certainly expect there to be a hit coming their way, but Fnatic, well, they're going to route this around in another direction. It's not a team on this attack side that I've seen many times commit to the first port of call. They like to change it up. They like to take it back in the other direction, although it's being spotted and Hero's now down. Good luck pushing through this setup. Actually, as well, they removed a shock dart earlier. Removed a trip earlier with the shock dart. And it's just been replaced with the second one used by Runner.
Why not?
They're going to walk into it.
Trex spamming shock darts. There's barely any time. I'm not expecting anything at this stage from the side of Fnatic. In fact, they know exactly where Alpha is, and maybe he'll get one. There you go. That will at least take down Safe, an extra orb for him, but ultimately not going to play that much of a part. Weaponry will be retrieved, and Vitality are going to buy right back into this one.
Yes, they are. Getting a few rifles to bolster that buy. And this isn't somewhere that they can, I think, sit back and go, oh, you know what, we've got the next. 10-5, actually, it's not the end of the world, but considering they've got rifles to fight with here, a good chance for them to not let this go too far. You saw the trap, the value of it, catching Boaster off in that position. From there, every kill goes their way, relatively clean.
Brother!
Minimal losses. Well, 9-5, 4-round gap, manageable. Vitality have got the early rounds that they needed.
He's waiting
yeah,
for it now.
I love it.
Yeah, they know that shock is going to come through each round, and they will basically become a game of cat and mouse.
Another down.
Satchel out.
Oh, he took the trap back, I think.
Yeah, I think he took it again. The thing is, I don't even believe they've broken it another time. It's still going to be sat there. Fnatic have desperately tried to remove this utility, but well, it's gone now. Runner's just gone walking backwards, didn't realize that they'd lost that much control into middle. I don't know if that's miscommunication or just a misplay on his part, but so focused on where his trips were placed, he ends up dying.
Yeah, I mean, he was busy with the blast packs, destroying them, pulling back the traps and putting them back in place. Safe has done well to eliminate Hero, though. A Cypher for a Cypher, but now the trades go back in Fnatic's way. Plant down, time ticking. But players stuck up close. They've already managed to delete Chronicle. Will they expect Boaster to be here, though? The smoke maybe could give it away, and he's down to 41 HP. But, oh, yeah, they definitely expect them to be here. The weapon switch, though, a little brazen for Sander. And with Boaster alive, post-plant's so much stronger. They can have a grab well to stop him from actually defusing. I believe a nade was thrown through. They know that defuse isn't underway. Flash used, just causing problems. And now, with the grab well, they've already won the round. Time is too far gone, too many players to delete, and they won't even land a shot on them. Trex manages to save this. He's on his way to the spawn, and they've left him. Okay, so they'll all get... Oh,
He almost stopped him at the end, but no. It is going to be the round. Eventually, though, going the way of Fnatic, and it is that mistake. I feel like just that early kill, Boaster making a big play as well through the smoke, just having his grab well for the end just makes things so much cleaner. If he loses that fight, who knows which way that fight goes in the end. Luckily for Vitality, again, that was only a bonus. Even though it had a lot behind it, they're still going to be buying straight back into this one. But they need to respond immediately. They don't really have any wiggle room left in this one. And Fnatic are only 3 rounds away now from booking themselves another grand final. We know how much experience and depth this roster has had, but I think what's most impressive right now is bringing in this map of Sunset, a map that they literally were not playing until Abyss was added in. Since then, they've looked fantastic on it. A good start though. Durka already gone, and while it seems like Alpha just wants to take this into his own hands with the support of Boaster.
Well, we know Boaster's Astra can be a little nasty. A nice flank as he sneaks up behind him, but Runner down. Now the numbers thinned out massively for Vitality. They have to be worried about the flank. Boaster had made his way up through the market, but now they actually relocate that spike, moving it to A on the back of Hero because he's got them boxed in. He snuck his way into their spawn, just trained into Sender. A free kill, and okay, Chronicle goes down in return, but with 45 HP left on safe, he should be relatively easy to deal with, and it's going to take them a while to get there. Not just because the spike is down on the exact opposite side of the map, but Hero got a kill in their spawn. They know they can't rotate there for free. There's traps covering them if they try to go through main. Middle ain't going to be that much easier either. That's where the spike rotated through, so there could be someone deposited there waiting to catch you. And then we talk about post-plant. Well, Boaster's alive. You've got Alpha as well, the stun that's going to go straight down onto you when you try to tap that spike. The grab well afterwards, you're probably getting peeked after the stun. They know there's no way to take this. And in a 2v3, it's not worth risking the weapons this late in the game. Fnatic have secured 11 rounds. 2 more to take it across the line, and Vitality's economy is in shaky territory. They're going to have to be very careful to close out this game, and correct me if I'm wrong, but on this map, they've already used both their pauses.
Yeah, with the streak of rounds, it's not really any surprise that Vitality had to try and use it. This is now a few times that we've not only seen Trex caught in his drone, but also just Runner being caught out. Like, they've been having a bit of a rough time, and I think this is something I've noticed with other teams that it didn't necessarily go as well, but Runner, obviously a newer player to the Sentinel role, especially on that Cypher. He has had some rougher games, and it looks like Fnatic are more than happy in most of these rounds to challenge his setup, and it has not been holding up.
Not much has for Vitality, though. They've had a couple of really big rounds. Even their pistol to start was kicks with a 4K. Individuals stepping it up, but the game plan seems like Fnatic are a little too far ahead for a team that didn't play this map much or at all before. This is quite an adjustment. They've come in with their homework done. It's Vitality that are struggling. 5 rounds on the board. This rifle round could put them back into it, but again, Fnatic will be able to buy. So it's not just about edging out the victory in a 1v1. We need to see a consistently repeatable game plan for Vitality. Safe's aggressive on mid, and they've got 2 players holding from further back. It's a good opportunity for Fnatic. They seem trained in on the other side, and this is where the pressure now applies onto Sender. Or at least, for now, it does. The rotations come in, but that could be all part of the plan. They're ready for this mid play, at least for now.
Oh, they've looked away. They've looked away. That could be absolutely everything. It's only going to be the 1 for now, but that might just be enough. They've still got the paranoia. They're going to lock them into a box, and while Fnatic even getting out of here is not going to be easy. The thing is, though, there's a couple of players slowly making their way in towards this B site. It seems like the only goal for Runner is to try and catch someone on the cross. He's got to be careful, though. As said, it's been him getting caught in a lot of these rounds. He goes through, and he's only going to get the 1. Safe also desperately low on HP, but now there's 20 seconds. Fnatic have got to move towards this site if they're going to try and win this one. Aftershock in, and more so looking at Durka and what his move is going to be, because with 10 seconds now, the spike still hasn't made it, but Hero combines with him. A nice double for Trex, but that still might allow the plant to come in. That's at least something, and it seems like Alpha wants to try and take this. Rolling Thunder has caught both players. The swing isn't quite enough, though. He was low on HP. Vitality will get through this round.
Just about, but managing to burn up some ultimates as well. Some early fights going their way. Big crunch in on B. This is a better face. 11-6. I'm not sure that it's repeatable, but oh, they've at least managed to weather the storm 1 round more. That's this mid peak. That could have been a lot more. Same thing can be said for Runner as well. I think they got the bare minimum in some of those plays, barring that one.
That was the thing. Like, that double from Trex was everything, because they lose 2 players in quick succession. That would have been, what, a 3 versus 2, unless he gets both of those kills. Yeah. And it was just filth. Like, this is the thing with Trex. I feel like there's always a moment in a game where it's just
safe. Well, maybe not so much. depends on the round. But
You
Hunter's
really
Fury,
hate the overdrive, don't you?
it's trash. Like, if you're vulnerable or something, sure, it's gonna do some damage. But or if you're low already, sure. But yeah, by and large, not a fan. Compare that to a Blade Storm or something, like then we're talking. But you can make up for that in other ways. The sliding accuracy with a rifle is enough for me nowadays.
They've heard the pop flash. The early aggression hasn't spotted anything on B, but Hero's still holding that ground. It does seem like now Fnatic's goal might be to try and force Sender back, remove some of that information, and well, you can see the double up or even triple up on middle for the side of Vitality. It was massively successful for them in the last round.
There was no need for that, Jack. I was thinking, yeah, that recon was sent to Kingdom Come, but it's a narrow frame on those windows. It's easy to miss. We've all done it. It's not VCT.
Well, Showstopper has been acquired. That'll be the main focal point of this one, and with a Hunter's Fury, who knows the combination that can be there. Bear in mind, Fnatic are just 2 rounds away from another grand final in the books. But they're taking their time. 30 seconds left.
30 seconds
Knife,
left.
I believe, has caught onto Bosa, so they're not going to have the smokes for another second. The time ticking low has been a problem, and we'll see if it's going to be a problem again.
Runner wasn't able to find impacts on his lurks. We just saw Hero go up to destroy some of that utility on B, maybe drag the rotations, and now players potentially out of position. Showstopper lands, flank up from Boaster is good for 1, and with 10 seconds left, the spike makes it to the site with no chance to deny. A shock dart sent through, but it's not even the right spot. 3 or 4 seconds left. But the plant is acquired. Fnatic now have time on their side. Numbers most certainly shifting in their favor, but it's safe. Time and time again, this has been the man you can rely on to dig you out of these tough situations. The smoke, though, cuts off any support, leaves him isolated and eliminated easily. Hero through the smoke. He's landing shot after shot, and Trex doesn't stand much of a chance. 12-6. 6 opportunities now to lock in that grand final spot. I don't think anyone doubted Fnatic coming into it, and you certainly won't be doubting them now.
No, 12-6 up. A map they picked up for playoffs and has become maybe one that many more teams have to be. It almost irritates me a bit that you just go, well, why were you not playing this before, guys? Why have you been keeping this for such a ridiculously long time? Again, solid utility usage, and I've noticed that Trex, in the mix of that, tried to slow them down, help his teammate with that Hunter's Fury. It's unfortunate because I do feel like it's held a little bit longer. He denies the plant. Round could have gone a different way. Instead, though, they go back to trying to pressure, but Chronicle's already gone. Runners started this one off well, and in fact, after the initial fight not going their way, Fnatic are going to fall off of this.
Yeah, they know they've got a trap outside A, so some decent information. There's no push-up from Vitality, unless there was a sneaky Shrouded Step. Again, Hero will be left to play that late role outside of B. Last time he just broke utility and then immediately rotated. This time, well, I mean, this is what Fnatic like to do. Zeiss also mentioned it on the desk. They'll be in a position where they grab some control, they deposit someone. That's how he phrased that, and I love that. They deposit a player, and then they decide to move in the other direction. It looks like they've done that here again, doubling back into the spot where they deposited Hero early on, looking to crunch into market. The utilities kept them back, though, and might have them second-guessing it. Cross from Boaster towards top mid. There's a smoke on right side. He's cleared the left, and now looking to take that space. Kill on market might mean they're focused elsewhere. And Boaster, well, if that flash goes through, it could have been huge, but he's actually rounded the corner just in time. They've seen him, at least, but looking to challenge is a different story. Boaster landing the first with the weaker weapon. Sender manages the trade, but now he'll have to manage so much more. A Vandal in his hands, an ult used into main. It's spotted and destroyed with a plant down, a nade online, a flash still for Alpha, stun to come soon. Camera in main as well. This is going to be one of the more difficult clutches of Sender's career. They now know exactly where he is, and that is him dealt with. 13-6. The first map might have been close, but